Well, Dragon Folk, you asked, and now you shall receive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Suede edition of the UltraPRO 9-pocket binder and go over all of its intricate details and maybe even see what goodies are inside. Alrighty, so here it is. This is the Suede collection in ruby red from UltraPRO. We got UltraPRO right down here. That is this binder. I went ahead and bought this a long while ago, back when I was collecting a lot of Magic the Gathering. And this is actually where I keep one of those collections. It is a zip-up binder. My personal favorite when it comes to getting collections is getting these zippered binders. It's just a simple 9-pocket zip-up binder. It costs about $28. Apparently, they're in low supply, so keep that in mind if you are going to look for this during this time. But I don't have a whole lot in here right now. Mainly just using this for the Strixhaven Mystical Archives. That's kind of my big collector piece for this, but the cards fit in here pretty well. You can see there's just a little bit. I mean, like, it does get fairly dirty. Something, obviously, you know, you have to realize you're going to be touching this a lot, and unless you're touching it with your hands, or unless you're touching it with gloves, I should say, it could get a little smudgy sometimes. But oddly enough, with no cards being in here, I don't recall actually touching a lot of this. You know, a lot of these probably because I'm taking cards out and so on and so forth. But for the most part, it's fairly clean. You can see from the quality of the card itself, there's not a whole lot of smudging directly on there when something is inside of it. But when it's outside of it and it's got this black background on it, that's when it tends to be a little bit more smudgy, right? So like you can see there's like that's a hair. You can see some smudges kind of up here, but of course on the cards you don't see any of that there, so it's very, very nice. And I like this. I mean, it holds your general 360, does a great job in keeping everything together and showing off exactly what this binder is, you know, meant to do. The outside of it, though, again, this is kind of I described this as felt in a previous video. It's more like a suede, right? I mean, obviously it is a suede collection, so it's going to be suede. I personally cannot tell you what suede feels like unless this is suede, in which I can tell you what it feels like. But it's kind of like an interesting leather. That's pretty much the whole concept for it. So that is the whole difference here. Again, this is the little side piece here, and then the back. So nothing too special about it. I do quite enjoy it. I'm not always a super big fan of UltraPRO binders, and I think genuinely it's because a lot of the times they do get smudgy really fast. I'm not sure what it is about the plastic that they use, but they do get smudgy real quick. So unless you're putting cards in them immediately, then you're not going to have an issue. But if you have to look at empty slots, because you'll see I'm separating these between their English version in foil and then their Japanese version in foil. And when you see changes like that, you'll know, I mean, these cards, they fit in here very well. This is a little bit of a crimped thing. This is just a bigger sleeve. So luckily the card's not really getting a lot of that damage. It's also pushed down here. So you'll see that there's not a whole lot of craziness happening in here. Again, we have like Gift of Estates, which is right here, to this Gift of Estates down here. And then that's kind of what I've got going on here. But I like the binder. It's nothing special, though. For $28, almost $30, luckily you're getting a zipper binder. The zipper seems to hold really, really well, which I do enjoy a lot. It also gives you quite a bit of room. It's got that... you can tell here I've got a lot of stretch on the zipper, which means that there's going to be room for a very full binder when this gets full, strictly because it does expand out like that and stretches out. So Very, very nice to see. Again, the zipper is very good quality. It's a very like a heavier duty zipper. So we've got that going for you. And then, yeah, I mean, really, it's just kind of an awesome binder. I think for the price, it could be a little bit better. But it showcases the cards very well. And I'm able to show off a lot of stuff. And like I said, like some of the pages that are nearly untouched don't have smudge marks, but some of them do. Some of them have like a little bit of residue. I don't know if you can see kind of that, right? That's kind of the big takeaway for a lot of these is you shine that bright light on there and you can kind of see there's just a lot of like small dust particles, smudgings kind of deal on some of these. And that could obviously be just from wear. To be fair, I have not opened this binder for quite some time, so I personally don't know what is in here, but even looking in the back here, right, you know, they kind of look dirty. And that could just be, again, dust either inside or on the plastic itself. But it's not, you know, you get that with nearly anything. In most cases, you're going to want to switch out binders when you're updating a collection, or like you've fully completed it. You want to get it into the binder as best as possible. So that's kind of it. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's anything super amazing and special about it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do and hold 360 cards, and it holds them double sleeved, mind you. I should say that these cards are double sleeved if I recall correctly. Yes, they are. So they are double sleeved. So that way you can go ahead and see you've got one sleeve here. I guess it's actually a side loader sleeve. So this is an inner, and then you've got your outer. And so you just pop that bad boy in there. Looks pretty good. And then they just slide in super well. So fitting in that double sleeve, I always like to double sleeve my collections as best as possible. Obviously, don't look at this. Don't worry about this. But I like to double sleeve my collections as much as possible. And it really does help kind of get a better idea about the true size, right? You're going to want to do some kind of double sleeving. So yeah, that is the binder. So if you guys are interested in a binder like this, I know UltraPRO is still selling their Suede collection. I can always go ahead and put a link to it in the description down below. It does say low stock as of the recording of this video, so I'm not sure if there are still going to be any when it does, when you end up getting there. If you're watching this like 5 years from now, you might not be able to get it. But overall, just know that if you're looking for a fancier looking zipper binder that does have kind of a little bit of a texture to this, it's not that plastic that everybody knows, and more importantly, it's not a strap. This is a very, very nice binder. This is like a quality collection binder to go in here. So I really do think that it is a great pickup if you have the money. If you're not worried about that, about there being like this is also the stitching in here. The stitching is very, very well done. So if you're not worried about, you know, keeping everything in pristine condition and you just want a binder to look at things in, I'd say go with something cheaper. You know, there's like $17, $18 binders out there that exist that don't have zippers. And you can always go ahead and put them in there. But for this, this is also nice too. I feel like this feels a lot better than its exterior. But this is more of that texture. So if you like a nice texture to your binder, this is a great one to start with. But like I said, you do get some smudging every now and again. But as long as there's a card in there, you tend to not see it. You tend to not see any kind of smudging. And that could just be my lighting. It could be different for you, right? Mileage may vary kind of deal. But yeah, so that is the Suede collection in Ruby Red for UltraPRO. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. You can also go ahead and subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button down below if you want to see more of these binder videos. I know I have a lot of these because I do a lot of master set collecting for many different TCGs. So if this is something you like or you want my personal opinion on it, just let me know in the comments down below on what you feel about it. And maybe I'll be able to go ahead and get one if I don't own one already, and be able to go ahead and do a little review on it. So thanks, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all very soon. Nerd out.